What's going on, guys? GeneralGerbil here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about wonder weapons, and not just the Black Ops 3 wonder weapons, but just wonder weapons in general as a whole category across the whole game mode. So if you haven't already seen it, I've actually already got a video on my channel where I talk about the Black Ops 3 wonder weapons specifically, how good they are in comparison to other wonder weapons that we've seen in previous maps and stuff like that. But today I just want to talk about the category of wonder weapon in general and what makes a wonder weapon good, what makes it something that will make someone play a map specifically just to try and get that wonder weapon, or what makes it so good that you want to hold it for like 60 rounds and then go and upgrade it because it's really cool and really fun to use. So if we're just talking about Treyarch's wonder weapons, we actually have 38 of them, but 9 of them are things that people wouldn't really know how to get, or people wouldn't really consider as a wonder weapon. Things like the Matryoshka dolls, Gersh devices, spider bait, things like that, things that you have to go through like a trial or something on the map to get. So when you take those 9 away, you've actually only really got 29 wonder weapons, and some of those are really, really cool and some of them are quite bad. And I just want to think about why some of them we class as really good and why some of them we class as really bad, and why some of them work on certain maps and some of them don't. So I'm just going to list off a few of my favourite wonder weapons, and they are like the STUFFZ, the Blundergat, the Scavenger, the Raygun Mark 2 and 3, the Time Bomb and the Bows. Now, I think the STUFFZ and the Bows you can kind of class in the same camp because, you know, you just got your standard one and then you can upgrade them just like you could with the STUFFZ. But the things like the Blundergat and the Scavenger and the Time Bomb, they were kind of like, they were so innovative because they were made off Treyarch's own back, because the Blundergat was a combination of a blunderbuss and a Gatling gun that Jason Mundell put into Mob of the Dead, and you can actually upgrade that in 2 different ways. You know, you could put it into the Acid Gat and then upgrade that to become the Vitrolic Withering, or you could just upgrade the regular Blundergat and make it become the Sweeper, which was really powerful and really cool. The Scavenger you had on Call of the Dead, which was like a kind of Siberian outpost kind of map, so that was an explosive sniper, and that was really cool because the thing that map added was verticality, just like Die Rise did. It had that huge lighthouse where you could sit at the top of it, you had zip wires, you had flingers, you know, you had a lot of mobility. And because of that, and because you had this like constant danger of fall damage, they had Flopper in the map. And the Scavenger synergizes really well with Flopper because obviously you get protection from explosives, and that's why the Scavenger works on that map, because you just got so many things coming together in symbiosis that make it just work. And the Time Bomb is just such a clever thing and such fun to troll with. I don't see why they haven't brought that back. It fitted in with Buried because it fit that kind of aesthetic of that map, and that was a really cool wonder weapon. It's not really a weapon, but that was a really cool tactical grenade, which I thought was quite sick. You know, I liked people using the Time Bomb. I thought if it wasn't for trolls, it could be really cool. It could be used really strategically. And that's why, really, it was put in there for the Easter egg, for when you put it on the guillotine and you go back in time or forward in times around in infinity. But still, I would really like to see the Time Bomb come back. And now some of the worst wonder weapons. There's actually only 2 that I consider really bad, and that's the KT-4 and the VR-11. I think for a wonder weapon to be bad, it doesn't have to add anything to the gameplay. I think it's just something that, it's kind of a weak idea that they've kind of just thought, oh, we need a new weapon, so let's throw this in there. So we've got the KT-4, which was basically just a liquefier. I've said it before in that video that I mentioned at the start of this one. It's basically just a liquefier, but weaker. You know, it doesn't make zombies slip over or anything. It just kind of explodes them if you hit them. And the upgrade process for that was terrible. It took forever to do. No one could be bothered with it, but you had to do it for the Easter egg, and it just took a lot of time. And it wasn't really worth it in the end, because by the time you got to round 30 or something, you were only on like step 2 of the upgrade process because you have to water a plant every round and stuff like that, and it's just not about that life. And the VR-11, I say this because, again, it didn't really add anything to the gameplay. It was just there kind of for the Easter egg, okay? Yes, you could shoot a zombie and it turns it to a human, and you could use that as kind of like a human monkey bomb, but it was weak, you know? The human ran to the nearest puddle of water, it just disappeared, and about 3 zombies would follow him. The only time you really used it was for when you blew the legs off the crawler and you shot him with it, and he went up the lighthouse for the Easter egg and you got the golden rod in return. So again, I think a weak wonder weapon is just something that they put in there specifically for the Easter egg. You know, the STUFFZ were used in the Easter egg, but they were also so unique that you could use them outside of gameplay and just, you know, swap and change them and stuff. And there was 4 of them, so you could like interchange which ones you use every round or something like that and do challenges with them and stuff. But the regular VR-11 and the KT-4, they're just not really worth your time, and that's what I consider a bad wonder weapon. And then finally we have our 2 staple wonder weapons, the ray gun and the monkey bombs. Now the reason why I think these are staples is because they were so clever when they first came out. When you first played World at War, you first played the first map, and you got the ray gun, you were like, wow, this is something new. This is something we've never used. We haven't used it in the World at War campaign, and we've never used it in anything in Call of Duty before that. But it was just something, so if you're pardon the pun, so alien to us, because it was so strange. You know, you had this World War II setting with Nazi zombies, but you had this alien gun that would just shoot particles and beams and just kill everything around you. So that's why the ray gun stuck, and it's been in every map since, because it's just something so clever and just something so left field that Treyarch put in there that people were like, this is good, this has to stay, like this is our go-to gun. If we struggle and we get the ray gun, we know we can win. And the monkey bombs, again, it's not really clever because obviously you need a distraction for the zombies. You can't always have them chasing you, but the way they implemented it by giving the monkey bomb its own voice and by giving it its own little dance and tune, and just really crafted that distraction into something that fits so well in the universe, I think that's why it stayed, and I think that's why the community love it so much. Not only because it saves lives, you know, someone goes down, you throw a monkey bomb, all the zombies chase them, not you, but just because it fits so well in that universe. Now obviously we don't go a map without monkey bombs or without ray guns and things like that. So when things like the Wunderwaffe come back, or the STUFFZ come back, or the Blundergat comes back, if they come back, I think they'll be welcomed with open arms, because there's not a universe or a map that you could put those in and you could say this doesn't fit. Visually, yeah, sometimes like the Blundergat wouldn't fit in Call of the Dead, or the STUFFZ wouldn't fit in Die Rise, but if you changed how they look, they could, if that makes sense. So you could take the Blundergat, give it like a Siberia camo, put it in Call of the Dead, and people would be like, this is cool, like no one knows how it got here, but this is really cool. And that's why I think that those sets of wonder weapons stayed in the universe, and things like the VR11 and the KZ4 are quickly forgotten just because they take too long to upgrade, they're not really worth it, and they're just bad. They're not good for high rounds. So those are some of my thoughts on the wonder weapons in Treyarch's history of zombies. What do you think? Let me know in the comment section below. If you agree with me, if you disagree with me, if you want to start a conversation with me about something, feel free to drop a comment. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't considered already. And other than that, I hope you have a great day. I've been GeneralGerbil. Peace out.